Hi guys, Jace here. Today we're going to look at the best headphones for cycling between the Shokz Open Run Pro and the Apple Airpods Pro. Now, of course, they're two completely different types of headphones, where one is in-ear and it's Bluetooth. Both of them are Bluetooth, but they're not connected. And the other one is bone conducting outside of the ear. Now, whilst they both have their pros and cons, it's probably best to choose only one of them so you don't have to do what I did, go down the road of buying both pairs. So my pain is your gain. Let's compare them. Now, first of all, let's do an easy one. Let's look at price. The Open Run Pro, now they were 310 New Zealand dollars. You can probably get them discounted at $290. Apple Airpods Pro, now they are $449, and it's probably a little bit harder to get some discount. So the first round goes to the Shokz Open Run Pro. Next sound, now there's no getting away from it. The Apple Airpods Pro is far superior to the Open Run Pro. Now, of course, that's mainly because these are in-ear headphones and these are bone conducting headphones. However, I did find sometimes these weren't quite loud enough when it was a bit breezy outside, and they were very difficult to hear when I was watching Netflix on the laptop indoors on the trainer with the fans blaring. I think these have improved, and they are the 9th generation, but they're still not quite as good. They have, however, which I found helpful, got a mode where you can swap between loud voice on the app and normal mode. So that helps you if you're listening to podcasts a lot like I am. I'm not a music connoisseur by any means. I mainly listen to 80s music and podcasts. So this next round goes to the Apple Airpods Pro. Next, fit. The Open Run Pro fits around the head nicely, over your ears, and fits under your helmet easily, fits with glasses on. The Apple Airpods Pro fit pretty well. They've got 3 silicone tips, but I found you do need a lasso, otherwise they will fall out, especially when it's a little bit wetter or you're eating, they can drop out. So, and if you're mountain biking, it's especially important to wear a lasso with these things. So the next round goes to Open Run Pro. Comfort, they're both pretty good. You can finish your ride and forget about these and leave them on your head. You can't finish your ride, forget about these and leave them on your head. So I think comfort goes to the Open Run Pro. Waterproofing, the Open Run Pro has an IP rating of 55. So that means it's water resistant and also protected against water jets from a nozzle 6.3 meters away. Now the Apple Airpods Pro, that has an IPX rating and is resistant to water splashes from any direction. So Open Run Pro gets it on this one, especially when it's wet, because the AirPods can slip out of the ear. Next, let's talk about noise and ambient noise. When you're out on your bike, can you hear the traffic? Can you hear someone beeping your horn? Now, with the Open Run Pro, of course, these are on the outside of your ear. So the ear is open to hear everything. So these are pretty good, or very good in fact. The only downside, I guess, is if they're on really loud, it's still quite hard to hear the traffic, but they are very good. The Apple Airpods Pro does something slightly different and quite funky. So they've got a transient mode, and that transient mode, I think, has a speaker or something to let you hear outside noise, and that is very good. And I think it's pretty comparable to the Open Run Pro. So in this instance, they get a draw. Battery life. Open Run Pro has 10 hours of battery life. Yes, 10 hours. So it's pretty rare that you're going to go on a ride that's going to last over 10 hours. So these are probably going to be the go-to if you're going to go out for long days in the saddle. Now, they do have a quick charge so for 5 minutes charging, you get another hour and a half of battery life, which is pretty good. Apple say the Apple Airpods Pro, however, has around about 4 hours or up to 4.5 hours of battery life, which I find is reasonably accurate. I get around 4 hours on a long ride. The only problem was I found myself running out of battery after those 4 hours, and if you're on long rides, I've done that 2 or 3 times now where I don't have any music, or one of them stops before the other one and then the other one stops a little bit later. So if you're on long rides, Open Run Pro. However, if you do take your case with you, you can get up to 24 hours of charging time by, you can pop them back in the case for a while and then they will recharge themselves. 5 minutes of charging gives you an extra hour on these. Battery life wise, the Shokz Open Run Pro wins this one by a landslide. If you're only going to get one set of headphones, I think the Apple AirPods Pro takes that win, because you can use them at work, no one's going to bat an eyelid. You can take calls, you can on both of them, but you can take calls. You've got transient sound, you've got noise cancelling sound, and they look pretty good. They don't look out of place. So I think for everyday use, and if you're going to use them all of the time, maybe the Apple AirPods Pro gets that one. Indoor cycling, the Apple AirPods Pro wins this hands down. Why? Because it's got noise cancelling mode, and noise cancelling mode will cancel out the noise of the drivetrain, any fans you've got, any outside noise, so that you're free to listen to your music or listen to your movie or TV program. The Open Run Pro, however, when I had the fans on and the drivetrain going, it was pretty hard to hear a movie I was trying to watch. It's loud with the trainer and the fans. I can still hear the laptop though, and I'm watching the documentary. I do wish it was a tiny bit louder though. So Apple AirPods Pro wins out. In ease of use, Apple AirPods Pro. Of course, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, which probably most people are when they get the Apple AirPods Pro, it seamlessly connects to your watch, Apple Watch, your laptop, your phone, and there's no messing around with it. The Open Run Pro, you have to have an app, and sometimes I found that it doesn't quite connect as easily as it should do. But to be fair, both of them are pretty easy to use. But in this instance, Apple AirPods Pro gets the win. So that's it, that's the comparison. And with that comparison, the Shokz Open Run Pro wins. But it's probably not quite that easy though, because if you're going mountain biking or on long rides, definitely the Open Run Pro. If you're indoor cycling, or you just want one single set of headphones for regular use, then the Apple AirPods Pro. What am I going to do when I'm riding in the future? Now for mountain biking and long rides and outdoor rides, I'm going to use the Shokz Open Run Pro. For indoor rides, every time, Apple AirPods Pro. Now it'll depend on what you're doing. If you don't ride indoors, Open Run Pro. If you want one set of headphones that will do everything, Apple AirPods Pro with the lasso. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you out there on the trails.